The AfroPrenuer podcast, a podcast for African entrepreneurs, presents inspiring, innovative, and disruptive entrepreneurs from Africa as they share their lessons, insights, and learnings from their unique entrepreneurial ventures. I'll be your host. My name is Ogweno Stephen. Let's roll. Welcome to another episode of the AfroPrenuer podcast, where we host African entrepreneurs sharing their incredible entrepreneurial stories, their journeys, their insights, and lessons that we can learn from them as other African entrepreneurs. And today we are joined by quite the guest, Mr. LAWRENCE NJIHIA, quite the entrepreneur as well. He'll be introducing himself, talking to us a bit about his stories and a few lessons that he has learned along the way being an entrepreneur for more than 5 years. And without further ado, LAWRENCE, how are you doing?
I'm all right, Steven.
You're doing well?
Yes, I'm doing great this morning. Super awesome. I'm very excited to be sitting here with you. Yes.
So could you briefly introduce yourself and give us a bit of your background?
Yes. I mean, so like you rightly put it, it's almost 5 years or maybe 4. I mean, when you say 5, I feel like a very old entrepreneur who should already be having a unicorn. And, you know, I kind of want to go back into my shell and soul search what's been going on. But anyway, those are I think such is the journey of entrepreneurship. So I am second time now startup founder in what we are doing through the city. I founded my first venture in 2016, well, officially formalized in 2017. And the venture is in e-commerce, so e-commerce for fashion, fashion category, because and you know, okay, the interesting thing. So the fashion category, because fashion category is actually one of the best e-commerce categories. People don't know a lot about this, and a lot of like African e-commerce startups have shied away from connecting people with fashion that they really love or want. And so we looked at that as an opportunity. So that's why, I mean, I went into that. So I studied finance and entrepreneurship, kind of leaned more towards entrepreneurship. Yeah, so at Strathmore University in Nairobi, Kenya. And yeah, so that's a bit about me.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. What have been some of the challenges that you face as an entrepreneur? And as we all know, entrepreneurship is like ratio of 10 to 1, challenges versus success. So what are some of these challenges that you faced, and what are the lessons that you've learned from it?
Yes, so as an entrepreneur, I think the huge challenge I faced is, and you know, when you are early on in your startup or in your business journey, you don't have everything to be able to have the right type of skills that you need. So the one key challenge that I have faced is that I was unable to move as fast, or we were unable to move as fast as a company, because we didn't have like some proper skills to like move to the next level of where we wanted the platform to move. And wherever we would get it, it was so expensive. Like it's costly to actually like get like proper IT talent, and you know, developers who would build the type of platform that we wanted to build, because we are looking at building a very experiential platform for shoppers. You know, incorporates a lot of things in there that over time we had that had been validated by customers as being important. And to get the kind of talent that could build that, I mean, as much as we have, you know, like a lot of people who are coming out of school with IT rather skills, but those specific skills, the specific skills we were looking for, were missing. That has been the biggest challenge of the journey.
What have been some of your highlights as an entrepreneur? What have been like some of the big wins that you've had along the journey as an entrepreneur so far?
So one of the big wins is to be able to raise a pre-seed for the company. I mean, I was a first-time startup founder, and to put this through, and you know, like to you know, to actually like, you know, burn the midnight oil on every single aspect of setting up the company and ideating, formalizing, and eventually be able to like raise a pre-seed for it. It was like really exciting. I mean, most times you bootstrap through your way, and then when you're on the second or third startup, then you can, you know, raise financing. But this was my first time to go into it, and I was able to do this. So that was very exciting. And I think being able to participate in lots of capacity building programs as you know, as a result of this venture that would help me or expose me to so much more, that has been a highlight of the journey. Like all the experiences that I've gone through, it's been a highlight of the journey. Yeah.
We're part of this entrepreneurship program called Jasiri,
Yes.
which takes the leading entrepreneurs from Kenya and Rwanda and prepares them for their next ventures.
Yes.
What has been some of your biggest learning points as being part of this program?
Yeah, so I think one would be that, you know, fail fast and fail fast to succeed sooner. That has like, you know, stuck out and jumped out at me, you know, because one of the key things that I feared with the venture before I joined Jasiri was fear of like failure and like, you know, what happens, this is my baby. And that's another thing, like don't look at your ideas, your companies, your businesses, your ventures as babies. Look at them as experiments. They could imagine to anything, and then when you adopt that, you know, like raise a fair relationship with them, then everything else becomes very smooth for you to kind of, you know, move it to the level where it can get to and really, you know, like be such a huge thing. So those have been two learning points, and I think one other one that I would want to add is that entrepreneurs are made up of many things, and don't ignore the other aspects of your life. Don't ignore your mental health. Don't ignore your physical health. Don't ignore your life relationships, health. You know, those things keep you, you know, as whole as a person to keep showing up every day as an entrepreneur you will be. And I think the fact that these things are not emphasized as much, and or were not emphasized as much before, and then when I come here they are emphasized as much, and there's actual support to be able to kind of, you know, navigate and to also be able to you know, like fade into this, you know, that I think is one key learning, I would say also as well from the Jasiri program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for listening, and that's a wrap for this episode. For more exciting episodes like this, don't forget to follow our podcast, the AfroPrenuer podcast, on all streaming sites, and visit our website at www.ogwenostephen.com. See you on the next one.